Hi guys, Dazzie here with another episode of my weekly Newsround series. This time it's episode 20. Ton of information to get through as always. As usual, I won't be rehashing a lot of my hot comic book alerts. That's for you to go back through my videos, watch and get hunting. But I've got a ton of very exciting info I'm going to bring you. As usual, it will be spoiler filled. Let's get into the news. Starting with this. Interesting. Fargo and Legion creator Noah Hawley says he met with Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige about the Doctor Doom film he completed a script for, but that he doesn't know if the project will move forward now that the Walt Disney Company is acquiring the film assets of 21st Century Fox. That includes the feature film rights to the Fantastic Four. According to the Hollywood Reporter, Hawley said he met with Feige, who inquired about the script, asking, "Are you still working on it?" "Should I still be working on it?" Hawley says he replied. But THR reports no concrete answer is forthcoming. The film was originally announced at Comic-Con International San Diego in 2017. And Hawley reports he completed a script in 2018 and describes it as not yet close to a green light. And he's not certain when or if it will move forward, joking Feige wouldn't reveal the MCU 1,000-year plan to him. Hawley envisions Doctor Doom as a geopolitical thriller more than the standard superhero movie. According to THR, it begins with Doom putting a dome over Latveria, the fictional European country he rules. He later invites a female journalist to be his voice to the world, meaning its protagonist will be someone with superpowers. Interesting stuff indeed. I would love to see a Doctor Doom film. Yeah, I mean, it was an abomination, wasn't it? That last Fantastic Four movie. Terrible stuff. The worst editing I've ever seen. The worst casting I've ever seen. But we've had Doctor Doom in those original two Fantastic Four films. I know I'm not talking the TV one. The movie one with Chris Evans as the Human Torch. And the guy who played Doctor Doom then is now in the Marvel TV show I'm watching, The Runaways. He was okay in it. I didn't mind Doctor Doom in those original Fantastic Four films. Yeah, they're cheesy, not for everyone's tastes. But, not the worst superhero films I've seen. Having said that, it's going to be a big upgrade for the MCU. I'm excited. Seems like it's still in limbo a little bit, but Feige has showed some interest, so fingers crossed. More Marvel news, and Sony Pictures has given a name to its burgeoning Spider-Man adjacent cinematic universe and has plans for it both in film and television. In an interview with Variety, Sony Pictures Entertainment chairman Tony Visquera and TV chairman Mike Hopkins have outlined a bold plan, a cinematic universe called Sony's Universe of Marvel characters that will work on two fronts off the success of the live-action Venom and the animated Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. We have the next 7 or 8 years laid out as to what we're going to do with the asset. And that will not only be on the film side, it will be also on the TV side, said Vinquera. Our television group will have its own set of characters from within that universe that we will seek to develop. The Hollywood Trade reports that Sony owns the TV film and film rights to more than 900 Spider-Man adjacent characters. It is researching as possible franchises. On the film side, Morbius is currently in production, and plans for Silver Sable, Black Cat, Nightwatch, Kraven, Silk, Jackpot, and a Venom sequel have all been reported. Our team is pretty far down the road in terms of working through which characters we think could be their own star of a series, said Hopkins. We're developing a lot of Marvel related content, and I think we'll be out in the market very soon with something. Some really big and transformation. It's a really big transformation for us because we've not done any shows with Marvel before, with Marvel IP, said Hopkins. So that's a big piece of development that we're on to. Marvel itself retains some TV rights to Spider-Man and related characters, producing several animated Spider-Man shows over the years. And the last live-action Spider-Man shows were 1977 CBS series in North America and 1978 Toy Company show in Japan. I think we aspire to have several shows in a universe that we create that can pollinate between each other, and to working with a partner to make that happen, said Hopkins. I'm very excited. If the quality is that of Into the Spider-Verse, we are in for a real treat. It didn't win Oscars just by chance. It thoroughly deserved it, in my opinion. Let's go with it. Let's have it. More the merrier, I say. Fox on the up. Okay. The Walt Disney Company plans to formally close its deal to acquire 21st Century Fox on March the 20th, 2019. Not far away now. According to the release provided to Deadline, Disney has received the last major approval it needed from the regulators in Mexico's government to finish the deal, now valued at $71.3 billion. Whoa. Fox shareholders have until Thursday, March the 14th, to decide on the amount of cash versus Disney stock to receive in that $71.3 billion transaction. Imagine how many comics we can buy for that. For comic book fans, this deal would include Fox's television and film rights to Marvel's X-Men and Fantastic Four, as well as the planned theatrical animated adaptations of David Peterson's Mouse Guard and Noel Stevenson's Nimona. Fox also owns a stake in Boom Studios, but it hasn't been publicly stated if that is included in the transaction. Other franchises Disney will acquire in this purchase are The Simpsons, Aliens, Predator, Independence Day, Planet of the Apes, X-Files, Die Hard, and Home Alone. If the deal does indeed close by March the 20th or thereabouts, it would free Marvel Studios to do whatever they like, say in post-credit scenes or title cards in April the 26th's Avengers Endgame, to seek the future of properties and their place in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So this is the speculation, guys, that the post-credit scene in Avengers Endgame could well have maybe a Galactus or a Silver Surfer or something along those lines. Mind-blowing. Quite a bit of Stumptown news now. ABC's Stumptown pilot, based on the Oni Press limited series by Greg Rucka. I did a hot book alert on Stumptown. Has added 2 more actors to its list. First, Secret and Lies actor Michael Ealy will reportedly portray Gray McConnell in the pilot. McConnell is described by Variety as Dex, Cobie Smulders' best friend, who has an unrequited crush on her. He's been renovating an old-fashioned brew pub in a modern, sleek mixology joint, and he's hired Dex's brother as his sole employee. Second is Scott Pilgrim vs. the World actor Mark Webber, who the Hollywood Trade reports will play Detective Miles Hoffman, described as a detective with the Portland Police Department. He's looking for escaped convict Samuel Kane, who's probably going to be paying a visit to Gray McConnell any day now. There's no premiere date yet for Stumptown, but of course Cobie Smulders, Maria Hill from the MCU, will be playing the lead character, and that book Stumptown is blowing up big time right now. Look out for that from Oni Press. Daredevil Season 3 showrunner Eric Olson has signed an overall first look deal with Amazon, according to Variety. Now for me, Daredevil Season 3 was the pick of the Daredevil seasons. A slow burner, but when it got going, oh my days. Bullseye, fantastic. I want to tell the kind of stories that I love, said Olson. Stories that have great characters, thrilling concept and epic backdrops, but are about something meaningful, Olson said. Stories which allow an audience to think and feel rewarded for watching. Amazon is a perfect home for these stories, and I'm psyched to work alongside the entire Amazon Studios team. Previously to showrunning Daredevil's 3rd season, Olson worked on Amazon's The Man in the High Castle, Arrow, Kings, and Jack and Bobby. And that is Eric Olson. Criminal that they've taken those Netflix shows away from us. Jessica Jones Season 3 will be the finale of the Marvel Netflix. Lucy Hale. This is Lucy Hale. Well, Lucy Hale has just been cast in the title role of CW's Katie Kane pilot. According to Deadline, based on the Archie comics character, Katie Kane is a direct spin-off of the CW's hit Riverdale series. Katie Kane follows the lives and loves of 4 iconic Archie comics characters, including fashion legend to be Katie Kane, who is Hale, and singer-songwriter Josie McCoy, who is Ashley Murray, as they chase their 20-something dreams in New York City, reads Deadline's description of the show. The musical dramedy chronicles the origins and struggles of 4 aspiring artists trying to make it on Broadway, on the runway, and in the recording studio. Keane is best known for a role in Pretty Little Liars and starred in the short-lived CW show Life Sentence. And of course, that is Katie Kane from Archie Comics. You know, I see very few Archie comics, or old school Archie comics in the UK, but I know they've got quite a fan base. Taika Waititi. That's the man in question. He's the man who directed Thor Ragnarok. Well, he will write and direct the pilot for Apple TV's reboot of Time Bandits. Remember that old legendary film? Brilliant, brilliant film. I remember watching that at the cinema as a kid. The filmmaker signed on for just the pilot, though the reboot of 1981 Terry Gilliam's surreal sci-fi could go to series. Time Bandit focuses on the adventures of a young boy who meets a crew of fantasy dwarfs who pilot a time-travelling ship to steal treasure from different ages. In addition to writing, directing and producing numerous films, Waititi will also direct an episode of Disney's The Mandalorian Star Wars series. He's busy, bringing a lot of stuff I like. Love it. Can you remember Time Bandits? Awesome stuff. I met the main villain, got his autograph. I can't even remember his name now. Oh, David Warner, was it? Yeah, the guy who was in The Omen as well. Fantastic film that was. Sean Connery was in Time Bandits, wasn't he? More Stumptown news. And Adrian Martinez. This is Adrian Martinez. Adrian Martinez. Well, he has just been cast as Tukey in the Stumptown pilot from ABC. Kobe Smulders was previously cast in the lead role of Dex Parios in the adaptation of 2009's Omni Press Limited series by Greg Rucka and Matthew Southworth. Martinez recently co-starred in CBS's All Access No Activity and before on NBC's Blacklist Redemption. The actor had minor roles in Amazing Spider-Man 2 and Kick-Ass. And if ABC picks up the Stumptown series, the show could debut as early as the fall of 2019. This is a film I wanted to get seen, but not by this actor. Director Rupert Wyatt says that the failure of 2015 Fantastic Four led to 20th Century Fox drastically cutting the budget for his and star producer Channing Tatum's Gambit movie. Yeah, Channing Tatum as Gambit. Not for me. I was very close with Channing Tatum and his producing partner Reed Carolyn. I was on the script with him and Josh Zwetwer as writer. We were close, I believe 10 weeks away. It simply came down to budget. There was not enough, Wyatt told The Beach. You know all too well about the politics of the business. Fantastic Four had been released by Fox a month before and had not gone well for them, so our budget was slashed quite considerably. The inevitable, from my perspective, was, well, then we need to rewrite the script and tailor it to our budget. But we were too close to a start date for Fox and really wanted to go there, so unfortunately it just didn't work out. Now the Fantastic Four film earned $167 million at the box office with apparently a $155 million budget, so $12 million profit. Not ideal. At the time of Fantastic Four's release on August 7th, 2015, Gambit was scheduled to debut on October 7th, 2016. White was already on board as director and Leah Sedox had been hired to play Bella Donna Baldrex. A month after Fantastic Four's release, White confirmed he was leaving the project due to what at the time he framed as scheduling conflicts. All I know is Channing had a really, really wonderful idea for what the film could be and should be, continued Wyatt. I know he and Reed are still plugging away at it, so I hope in the new Disney era that they get to make it. and since Wyatt's departure, 2 other directors, Doug Liman and Gore Verbinski, have been announced for Gambit, but also left. I've said it before, I enjoyed Tyler Kitsch playing Gambit in the Wolverine Origins movie. I actually loved that Origins movie. I know I'm in the minority, not a Channing Tatum fan. He can dance, but he can't act, in my opinion. Time would tell. I'm going to show you an image now from a classic. Swamp Thing. Yes, from the 80s. Remember this actress? Well, her name was Adrienne Barbeau, and she's announced she'll be appearing in DC Universe's Swamp Thing television series 37 years after playing Alice Cable in the original Swamp Thing movie. The actor announced the news on Facebook and then added to that on Twitter, saying she was happy to be headed back to the swamps. Jennifer Beals and Henderson Wade are playing Lucilla and Matt Cable respectively in the DC Universe's series, but Barbeau didn't disclose what role she'd be playing. According to the schedule released by DC in 2018, Swamp Thing is planned to launch in May of 2019. It's going to be the next one after Doom Patrol. Can't wait for all of those shows to come back. What have I got for you now? Exciting times, because I've got my Tales of Suspense 52 ready. Black Widow may be looking at adding 3 more big names to the cast, according to the hashtag show. Following a previous report that Emma Watson is in contention for the film's co-lead, you know, Emma Watson from Harry Potter fame as Hermione, the movie blog has drawn on its own reported cast breakdown to add to the following actors' names to the growing potential cast list. First, Moonlight actor Andre Holland is purportedly in talks to play the film's villain. This is Andre Holland. The aforementioned villain have Alec Baldwin and Rachel Weisz as the top choices to take the roles. Baldwin is no stranger to superhero films, having portrayed pulp hero The Shadow in the 90s. I've got that film, classic. He was recently cast in Warner Brothers' The Joker film. Exciting. Though he departed that role, reportedly that of Thomas Wayne, prior to filming due to scheduling conflicts. Weisz is best known, of course, for a role in the Mummy franchise as adventurer Evelyn Carnahan. No projected release date for Black Widow has been announced. Now, Andre Holland, who was supposedly going to be playing the main villain, I'm hearing strong rumours it's going to be Taskmaster. Now, I was specking on Red Guardian, Black Widow's husband, but no, it looks like, from what I'm gathering, Taskmaster is on his way. Avengers 195 is the first full, I think, and 194 the cameo. I own both. Car boots only delivered that day. Remember this? Yeah, it's a scene from the Suicide Squad. There's Katana, and there's Rick Flag, played by Joel Kinnaman. Now, Joel Kinnaman's Rick Flag will not be appearing in the upcoming Suicide Squad sequel. Pretty good thing, really. Wasn't a fan of his character. At least per current plans, according to Variety. Writer-director James Gunn has reportedly completed several drafts of the sequel script, leading Warner Brothers to begin casting, and in some cases recasting. Now, we know the new characters that are coming. King Shark, Polka Dot Man, the Rat Catcher, and I can't remember the other one, to be played by Batista. But he was a Charlton comic character originally. But exciting times. King Shark, that's a great casting, I think. Kinnaman joined the original Suicide Squad after Tom Hardy dropped out of the Rick Flag role due to a scheduling conflicts, similar to the reports of Idris Elba. Yeah, Idris Elba now replacing Will Smith as Deadshot. Stoked about that. Will Smith, as cool as he is, was not the Deadshot I remember. So Idris Elba is going to bring it, I think. According to Hollywood Trade, Margot Robbie is expected to reprise her role, of course, but the film will primarily feature new DC characters who didn't appear in the original film, like the ones I've just said, Polka Dot Man and King Shark. There hasn't been any reports whether or not Viola Davis and Amanda Waller will return, but I've since caught news that she will be returning, so we're going to get more Amanda Waller. I thought she was good in the film. The as yet untitled Suicide Squad 2 is scheduled for release on August the 6th, 2021. Now I'm going to bring you some sad news, some real sad news from me. Oliver Queen actor Stephen Amell. We all know Stephen Amell. The man who got me into comics. Well, he's announced, of course, that Arrow will end this fall with a 10-episode final season. Playing Oliver Queen has been the greatest professional experience of my life, but you can't be a vigilante forever, Amell said on Twitter. Arrow will return for a final run of 10 episodes this fall. There's so much to say. For now, I just want to say thank you. Playing Oliver Queen has been the greatest professional experience of my life. I can believe it, mate. You were fantastic in the role. I had the pleasure of meeting him. I got a signed photo. Top show. Don't get me wrong, it's lost a little bit of its way. There's too much Felicity Smoke now, which makes me pull my hair out. But those early seasons, season 2 in particular, with Deathstroke, wow, fantastic. Now, Arrow season 7 is currently airing, making the upcoming 10-episode final season of the series is 8. So season 8 will be the final, and it will have 10 episodes. This makes Arrow not only the first of CW shows to air, but the first to end. This was a difficult decision to come to, but like every hard decision we made for the past 7 years, it was the best interests of Arrow in mind, said showrunner Beth Schwartz and executive producer Greg Berlanti and Mark Guggenheim in a joint statement Wednesday. We're heartened by the fact that Arrow has birthed an entire universe of shows that will continue on for many years to come. We're excited about the crafting a conclusion that honours the show, its characters and legacy, and are grateful to all the writers, producers, actors, and more importantly, the incredible crew that has sustained us and the show for over 7 years. Interestingly, this parallels the end of DC's Green Arrow title, but in that case, a relaunch is already confirmed to be forthcoming with a new angle that puts Oliver Queen front and centre in the DC universe. Yeah, so I'm gathering, if you remember the recent crossover that Stephen Amell basically said, save everybody and you can take me instead. Green Arrow, I think, is going to die saving the universe in the Crisis in an Infinite Earth to come at the end of next season. Sad times. Been a big part of my life, the Arrow show, and it will be missed. Finally, I've got some pretty cool comic book news. DC's Justice League is crossing over with Dark Horse Comics' Black Hammer universe in a new limited series scheduled to debut this July, titled Black Hammer Justice League Hammer of Justice. Black Hammer co-creator writer Jeff Lemire will be writing the series with art by Michael Walsh and colorist Dave Stewart. The joy of Black Hammer for me, and I presume many of its fans, is to read superhero comics that are character driven without endless tie-ins and events, so I don't want Black Hammer to become the last, Lemire told IGN. But this was an excellent opportunity to tell a really fun story and hopefully to bring Black Hammer to a bunch of new readers. I have too many stories of my own that I still want to tell. And according to the Hammer of Justice begins when a strange man simultaneously arrives in DC's Metropolis and the Black Hammer farm. This somehow leads to both universes being warped, and Starro attacks for good measure. The 5-issue event will include DC heavy hitters Batman, Wonder Woman and Superman, as well as Black Hammer's Golden Gale and Colonel Weird. Obviously, I want Black Hammer to continue to grow and evolve autonomously, but that doesn't mean that this is just a throwaway imaginary story either. The writer said it will have an emotional impact on both sets of characters, and there is one other aspect that will have more lasting effect, but I can't spoil that here. In some ways, Black Hammer is a meta-style take on superhero archetypes, including those innovated by DC superheroes such as Superman, Shazam, Batman and Wonder Woman. But for Lemire, this crossover is working to accentuate the similar characters' differences. Of course, there are some surface similarities, like both Martian Manhunter and Barbarian being Martian heroes. When you put them together, it allows the uniqueness of both worlds to really come through, said Lemire. Walsh will draw the interiors as well as covers, with additional cover artists to include Andrea Sorrentino, Yannick Powaki, Yuko Shiyosami. Black Hammer co-creator Dean Ormston is not listed as being involved with the project. Black Hammer Justice League Hammer of Justice, one of 5, is scheduled to go on sale on July the 10th as a co-production of DC and Dark Horse Comics. There is issue 1. Here is issue 2. Sorry, here's the variant for issue 1. Some more variants. And you get the gist of it. So that's it. Whew, that was a ton to get through. Thanks for your other support, guys. If you like what you see, please subscribe, like, share, all that jazz. That's Daz over and out. Stay tuned. There's always more to come.